discovered and they were distributed, I was one of the first people who kind of programmed and worked with the great city to form the regulation. So I take on the new recruits and we kind of go through the safety book, right? The Flight Safety Handbook here, and we go through each piece step by step. But of course, there are some formalities we need to take from you before we do that, right? Yeah. Well, at the end of this, hopefully we can get you your wings and get you up in the air, right? Yeah. So, did you bring your letter of recommendation? You did? Okay, perfect. Could I see that? Yes. Let me just... Okay, yes, I see. Here it is. Wow, a letter of recommendation from the Gold and Emerald Guild. That's a big deal. Okay, well, we'll get through this. Did you make sure on your way in to hit that subscribe button? And that way you'll get the updates from the Frequent Flyers Academy. You did? Okay, perfect. Let's make sure that we're having access to information so that even once you get the safety handbook, you can get updates on new information. Anyways, let's look at your letter of recommendation. Perfect. Just give it a read, okay? The letter of recommendation dated on July 1st, 2026. Very recent. I see you've been thinking about this. And the Gold and Emerald Guild is a very well-established and recognized guild. I'm surprised that an adventurer was able to gain access, since they usually operate only in the field of villagers. You've frequently used their services. Okay, well that's good. We do here. The adventurer, a potential guild member, so you're not a guild member yet. Okay, Enderman Lane and Herville, Dominion of the GC. So you're at a satellite office, I see. Okay, that's perfect. To whom it may concern, I am very honored to recommend the adventurer for admission to Frequent Flyers Academy. I have known the adventurer as one of our most dedicated explorers, consistently demonstrating exceptional navigational skills, resilience in the face of turbulence, and an unwavering passion for discovery. Unbelievable. That is amazing. This guild thinks very highly of you. Very highly of you. I would make sure you keep a copy of this yourself. The Golden Emerald Guild stands firmly behind this decision. The Golden Emerald Guild is an esteemed fellowship of seasoned traders, villagers, craftsmen, and explorers, united by a shared commitment to excellence in industry, global exploration, and protection of villager kind. As a guild, we recognize only those who embody the highest standards of adventurous spirit, and the adventurer exemplifies these qualities in every journey undertaken. Wow. If you need any more information on the matter, do not hesitate to contact me. Thank you for your consideration. Sincerely, Villager with request Guild Emperor. Okay. And you have the badge here, I see. That's quite amazing. And I see there's some contact information, including their main office, and that we can send letters. I guess this is a Redstone fax number. Okay, well, we'll keep this on file, and if you want, we can make a copy for you. But take that from you. Perfect. Wow, how amazing. Who knew? So, let's go through our document here and see what flight safety information we can get you. You can see that we have our name up here, and then right here it says Guide to Safely Maneuvering the Skies with Wings and Firework Propulsion. And then, of course, our big words, Flight Safety Handbook. Flight Safety Handbook. Okay, let's jump on in, shall we? some information for your handbook, okay? Perfect. Okay, so welcome, flyer. Welcome to the skies. This handbook is your essential companion for safe and thrilling flight using your wings and firework propulsion system. Read carefully before you first launch. Now, this is a mandatory training for everybody who begins at the freaking Flyers Academy, okay? You need to have this information. It was published by Captain Elliot Winborn, Chief of Flight Instructor. Flying is a privilege and a joy. With great altitude comes great responsibility. This guide will teach you how to harness your cape's gliding system, control your firework thrust, and navigate the skies safely alongside fellow flyers. Now, we don't expect you to have the handbook on you at all times, but we do expect you to understand this information. So this is why every flyer goes through a orientation such as this, right? And then we go through it together, and you can keep this at the end. But what we need to make sure you understand here is that you are flying alongside fellow flyers, okay? So it's important that you remember that you're not in the skies by yourself, and that there are other people flying, some with more experience than you, and eventually some without or less so experience. So you need to keep them in consideration, okay? Let's go to the next page. Flight overview. Winged flight combines ancient technology with firework propulsion technology. Your cape generates lift through woven spell-threaded weaves, while controlled firework bursts provide forward thrust and altitude adjustment. Okay? Vision. A world where everyone can experience the freedom of personal flight. Vision. A world where everyone can experience the freedom of personal flight, soaring safely above cities and countryside with confidence and wonder. Our mission is to train every flyer in the safe operation of magical capes and firework propulsion systems, ensuring zero mid-air incidents through proper technique, regular equipment checks, and respect for sky traffic regulation. We believe safety and adventure go hand in hand. We aim to assign several trained flyers to the Gold Wing Division every decade, and we'll talk more about the Gold Wing Division as well. Let's get to our next pages. Flight regulations. These are a big deal. All flyers must adhere to the Sky Code established by the Aerial Safety Council under the Airspace Act. These regulations protect you, fellow flyers, and ground dwellers. Violations may result in license suspension or permanent grounding. That is the worst case, okay? Well, I mean, there are worse cases. You could come crashing down and the Elytra could break, and, you know, there could be some real serious issues with that, but we'll get to that later. Ignorance of the rules is never an acceptable excuse when lives are at stake, okay? This is a very serious academy. What we do is it's a dangerous thing, right? Like, we fly around and we operate in the sky, and if you're also doing that, then you need to maneuver skillfully, carefully, and with consideration of these regulations and the overall safety handbook, okay? Okay, let's continue. Flight clearance levels: beginner, intermediate, advanced, instructor, and then the Gold Wing Division. Okay? Night flying requires a level 3 enchanted license with luminescent gear and a minimum of 50 logged daylight hours. All night flyers must carry beacon radars. I read that wrong. Radars. 6 a.m. to dusk at 8 p.m., okay? That's how it works. If you want to become, or if you want to fly a night, you need to fill in these requirements. So I'll actually highlight those for you. So a level 3 enchanted license, luminescent gear, and 50 logged daylight hours. Okay, that's important. I'm not sure what your intention is to fly once you're outside of the academy, but you'll need to make sure that you have these. Well, you'll never really be outside the academy, but you know what I mean. Not in the beginner area, like pushing into intermediate where you can fly by yourself. Alright, pre-flight checklists. Before every flight, inspect your gear for tears of fraying or tears or fraying. A damaged cape loses lift capacity and may cause mid-air stalls. Check that the enchantment's shimmer is evenly distributed across the fabric. You should not be flying with an elytra that is not enchanted, okay? There should be some sort of enchant on it. Unbreaking, mending, it needs to be on there. It is increasingly dangerous to fly without that, okay? While it is possible, we recommend that you do not do that. All flyers must confirm cape is securely fastened at both shoulders. Firework propulsion stack is fully loaded. Wind conditions are below 40 knots. Visibility is clear for at least 500 meters. No loose clothing near ignition and takeoff points. Okay? So actually, make sure you check this every flight. Okay. Let's do these next pages. Okay. Altitude and speed limits. Altitude rules: never exceed 3,000 feet. Cape lift weakens above 5,000 feet due to thinning magical currents. Therefore, regulation is strict. Always maintain at least 200 feet clearance from buildings and other flyers in village zones. Okay? You need to keep that distance because it ensures that everyone is safe. If you're here, you need to understand that you must fly with safety or you're not flying at all. Okay? You need to keep that distance. You really do. So we got some speed guidelines because I know that we want to fly fast sometimes. Maximum firework thrust in village areas, 2 rockets per burst. Open sky zones permit up to 5 rockets simultaneously. Never ignite all rockets at once. This may cause uncontrollable spin. Okay, like you'll start spiraling like we don't want that. Not at all. Gradual acceleration is key to safe maneuvering at any altitude. Gold wings may disregard these restrictions. Now, I'm guessing you're starting to think about how you can become a gold wing because it sounds a lot more fun. It is a lot more fun. That doesn't mean that gold wings don't fly with safety. They absolutely do. Okay? But there is a bit more leeway in terms of maneuvering, and at that point you've shown that you're really good. Okay? Emergency procedures. If your gear breaks mid-flight, spread your arms wide to maximize drag and glide towards the nearest soft landing zone. Okay? I'm going to read that one more time to you. If your gear breaks mid-flight, spread your arms wide to maximize drag and glide toward the nearest soft landing zone. The reason I'm reading it a second time is that if this does happen, there's a tendency to panic. You need to first slow down your thoughts, then proceed with this. Spread your arms wide to maximize drag and glide towards the nearest soft landing zone, preferably water. Deploy your backup gear if available, right? If you have a second one on you, you should. Or potions, right? Release 3 fireworks to signal ground crews. Never panic. Ignite all remaining fireworks, alright? In an emergency, is highly recommended that this item be brought along. Okay? Equipment care and maintenance. Your gear and fireworks are precision instruments that require regular care. A frayed spill thread or damp fuse can mean the difference between the smooth of light and a dangerous freefall. Treat your equipment with the respect it deserves. Inspect before every launch, clean after every landing, and store in a cool, dry enchantment locker away from direct sunlight or moisture. We added this picture of a vault to kind of say that this is what we mean by a locker, but honestly, any chest behind a cobblestone wall will be good enough. Somewhere where the moisture is not as high. We just need to make sure the fabric stays dry before we fly, right? If it is wet, we recommend that you leave it out in the sun for maybe 1 to 2 hours before flying, okay? Okay, rewards and achievements. Now I believe we are pushing the end here, and this is one of the more interesting areas. So, I'll give this a read to you, and then I'm going to talk a bit more about the golden wings. Rewards and achievements. As you can see, flyer milestones and rewards include bronze wing, 10 hours locked, silver wings, 50 hours locked. Now, if you remember, at 50 hours, that means you can take on night flights. Gold wings, special recognition, and a storm chaser certification. Okay? Now, the Frequent Flyers Academy recognizes dedication and skill. As you log more flight hours and master advanced techniques, you unlock a new privilege, upgrade equipment, and access to restricted airspace zones. Now, I know at this point you're probably wondering, well, actually, you know what, it might be better if I highlight this, what the gold wings are. And you're probably thinking that's the highest recognition that you can get. You're correct, it is. A Storm Chaser certification only comes after acquiring gold wings, and that is reserved for an elite set of people. You need to be increasingly skilled at flying, able to maneuver multiple obstacles to become a Storm Chaser. Storm Chasers have the right to fly within storms. That's what the name comes from. Okay? A Storm Chaser is on another level. They can even engage in combat in the air, which is not something we recommend and almost never happens. However, there are very few occasions where it has. Okay? We did have one villager who was a Storm Chaser who eventually went rogue, and we needed one of the other Storm Chasers to eliminate that villager. We did not expect the outcome. I don't even know if I should be telling you this. He summoned a wither, and the fight was dangerous. It was increasing. Destruction was immeasurable, and it happened over 3 decades ago. Since we've updated the regulation in terms of Storm Chasers, he did win. He did beat the wither. He was unable to fly again, but he beat the wither, and he did beat the other villager. The only thing is that we never found any remains. Anyways, okay, we're not going to talk about that. We'll talk about the fact that there has been no threat since then, but yes, becoming a Storm Chaser allows for that, hopefully, and I don't think there ever will be a chance for you to engage in combat in the air, but we can talk more about that. So, I do want to show you when you get your silver wings. You are awarded this badge right here. This is a coin. It's not necessarily a badge, it's more of a coin. And this coin symbolizes your ability to fly at night, to enter restricted zones, and to access your elytra at any point, so you can't really be stopped. You show this, and you become essentially unstoppable. Now, a certification for a Storm Chaser, I can't show you that, that's classified, but time, maybe. Okay. Well, anyways. I hope that you enjoyed the safety handbook. You will be able to take this home. We recommend you read it at least 2 or 3 more times before your first flight, and then we're looking forward to you coming in and then putting on your wings and going on your first flight with us. Okay? So remember to fly safe, fly strong. Alright, we'll see you soon.